What's going on today, guys? My name is Kyle and I'll be reviewing the film Finding Dory, which is directed by Andrew Stanton and stars Albert Brooks and Ellen DeGeneres. This film takes place about 1 year after the events of Finding Nemo happened and is about, of course, the friendly but forgettable blue fish named Dory, which we all love, who attempts to reunite with her loved ones after she begins to receive little tiny flashbacks about her childhood, and with the help of Marlin and Nemo, they set out on an entirely new adventure to find out where her parents are. Now, before I tell you guys what I thought about Finding Dory, I just need to say that I love Finding Nemo. I mean, who doesn't love Finding Nemo? And especially people who are my age, because I grew up with this movie. I watched it so many times as a kid. It's so quotable. I can give you guys like 50 quotes right off the bat. But this is such an important movie because its themes and messages are so important as you grow older and mature. And I love this movie so much. However, when they announced the sequel to Finding Nemo, I was not excited one bit. I just thought it was going to be another cash grab for Disney, and it was going to be very inferior to the original, and I just didn't want to see it because I didn't want to feel disappointed. So when the release date got closer and closer, I started to hear some buzz. I heard a lot of people say that this is a great movie, and when I went to go see this movie, I didn't have high expectations at all. I went in expecting a fun, enjoyable film. Finding Dory, I thought for the most part, was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. Do not go into this movie thinking it's going to be anywhere near as good as the first one, and I think you're going to have a good time with it, because Finding Dory, I think, was still a pretty good sequel. It did have some problems that I'll talk about later on, but I always like to start off with the positives. Look, guys, very rarely will I say that an actor or an actress was perfectly cast in a role, because it really doesn't happen. But Ellen DeGeneres just, once again, kills it as Dory. She is absolutely perfect. Dory, actually, from a survey I think on Facebook, is actually still the most liked Pixar character, and for good reason, because even though she can't remember anything, we still like her character because she's fun to be around. She's exciting, she can make good quips, she can make you laugh, she can make you cry, she can do all of those things. All of those emotions, for the most part, are in Finding Dory, and I really appreciated Ellen's performance. I also really love Albert Brooks as Marlin. He just adds so much to that character as well, and I was shocked that he wasn't Oscar nominated for Finding Nemo because his performance was electrifying. But this movie, Dory really takes the center stage. Eugene Levy and Diane Keaton did a wonderful job voicing Dory's parents. I thought they did a spectacular job with them, and to me, they just added so much emotion to the scenes where they were with young Dory. Now, guys, the scenes with young Dory are so adorable. Any little kid who's going to see that movie is going to be like, oh, that's so cute. And you just have a big smile on your face because it really is special. Pixar does a great job creating emotions. Even with the most simplistic ideas, they can make something very emotional out of it. And I personally think those scenes with the young Dory is so good. The animation, as always, is stunning and crisp and just so well done. You really can't find anything that looks extremely fake at all within this movie because everything just looks so incredibly realistic. This is also a very fast-paced movie for the most part because there are some scenes that are slower. There are so many sequences that are just so visually appealing that anyone that takes the kids to go see it will have a blast watching those. Where it truly falters in those fast-paced sequences is giving a lot of character build-ups and character developments because it tries to go for a lot of those fast-paced action scenes, which are fun, but it doesn't really slow down and flesh out the characters as much as you want to, because there are some characters that are fleshed out, particularly an octopus that decides to help Dory, or in this case, a septopus. But I don't think his character in particular had enough development for us to truly care 100%, because he seemed like a somewhat trustworthy character, but we didn't really know 100%. My issue with his character is I don't think he was as fleshed out as most people thought he was going to be, and therefore was a little bit harder to connect with him. I think the biggest problem I had with Finding Dory is that I didn't find it that emotional. Now, for a lot of people, they might find that very surprising, and for a lot of people, they might agree with me that this movie simply did not have enough of that emotional pull to really make you draw a tear, because when I saw Inside Out last year, there's one scene that, if you guys have seen the movie, that made you cry your eyes out, because it was so intense, but it was also very emotional because that character was built up extremely well. I think because some of the characters weren't as developed as we wanted them to be, I don't think it gave us the emotion I think we wanted. This movie does a great job showing just how important family is. It does a beautiful job exemplifying that throughout the film. But it just didn't take me into the heavy emotion slash tear-jerking stage. There is a hilarious cameo made by a very famous actress that I'm not going to spoil, and I knew that a lot of the younger audience members would not know who she is until they're older, and I think that's something great because Pixar does a great job of showing things that are good for kids and showing things that are good for adults. So once the kids mature and they understand more of the themes of it, they'll get it, and they'll definitely get this joke as they get older. So overall, Finding Dory is a perfectly fun family film. If you want to take your family to go see it, absolutely do that. Just keep in mind that this movie is nowhere near as good as the first film, and it won't really get to you on a heavy emotional note, but there will be some emotionally driving sequences, and that young Dory is absolutely adorable. Guys, I enjoyed Finding Dory. It's not the movie that I would want to rush out and see again, but I did enjoy Finding Dory for the most part, and I'm going to give it a B+. So what do you guys think about Finding Dory? I'd love to hear those comments, so send them in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching my reviews as always. I will be back doing a review for Central Intelligence coming this weekend. I'm excited to see that because I've heard some pretty good things about it. So guys, thank you so much for watching as always, and stay tuned.